even Eni Aluko this week saying she was scared to go out the house. I mean, I'll have to take that at face value, and I think she's been a really good women's footballer. But let's be honest, she shouldn't be talking about the men's game. She's had ample opportunity, and she's not got better. For me today to say this week in the video, a peer group is saying to her she's doing really well. I'm like, okay, well, it's not her fault. She's clearly not getting the correct training to help her get better, or the correct constructive feedback loops. So I actually don't blame Eni, and I don't blame any of the girls. But if I'm an advocate for men's mental health, and I'm talking to champion men's mental health causes and going hiking, well, we've got to think about young women's mental health as well. It can't be beneficial to these young ex-women footballers to be in positions and having to shut down their social media feeds for the amount of abuse they're getting for not knowing their onions. Now, the lads can't but not have a go at them if you don't know your onions, if you can't count, if you can't do basic arithmetic, and if you can't describe what loads of lads are actually seeing, then they're going to get frustrated and they're going to say stupid stuff on social media. And I don't think it's fair on the girls, but they should not be in that position for it to happen. So who's the responsibility lie on? Does it lie on the social media networks to block out the noise? Does it lie on the broadcaster to take these people off the screens? Yeah, it fits. I mean, for me, when you look at it, I go, okay, probably because he's been to Saudi, he's deconditioned, he couldn't come back straight into the Prem, he'd make a right pig's ear of it. And he wants to stay in the England squad, so playing for a big club like that, who's in a bit of turmoil, they're up to 5th now, though, aren't they? They've had a bit of a renaissance since they changed coach. Ajax are always going to be thereabouts, aren't they, in Holland, just because they get access to the best talent based on the prestige and the tradition. But it is a development league. I think Jordan will do well there. He'll learn, obviously, if he wants to go into coaching and that later on. I think it'd be a good basis for him. It's obviously not far from the UK for England duty. They look like they need a little bit of leadership, and so I think it'd be a good move for him. But going to Saudi in the first place has put a hole in him. Coming back to the Prem, once you go and take MLS or Saudi, for me, as an elite level player, you're done. I don't think you should get capped for England, if I'm honest, but obviously it is important to Southgate, probably goes way beyond the actual playing side of it. I think Bournemouth are going to target young Connor Bradley at right back, and obviously Harvey Elliott on that side. He's done brilliant there, tracking back and sealing the edge. Again, I laugh and it kind of shows your age, but I remember, and I didn't remember this happening at the time, but we've obviously played Liverpool. Stevie Gerrard's obviously captain of Liverpool, and I'm captain of QPR at the time. And the QPR mascot, Harvey Elliott, as a young kid with like a little skinhead, and he's like that looking at Gerrard. Obviously, he was our mascot, but to see him go on from QPR to Fulham, did he? And then Fulham obviously lost him to Liverpool quite early, but again, it shows Liverpool have done that. I also remember that happening in the boot room kind of culture, and Ronnie Moran and all that. They take young lads and take a chance on them, and obviously paid them back. And I think that's been the big thing for me watching Liverpool this season. Obviously, young Jarell Quansah, who was with us at Bristol Rovers last year, getting in and doing well in Europa League, and then obviously FA Cup, and Connor Bradley in here. In the Arsenal game, I seen him. With a bit of time to go, we put a few young lads on when the game was firmly in the balance. So I think for Liverpool to have a production line where they're seeing lads coming through, the young lad, Irish boy Kelleher, who's come in and done well in goal. I think as well as seeing the superstars from, I think every person who loves the football club likes to see a bit of homegrown talent from the academy come through and do well in the first team. This should be a goal. This should be a goal. Oh, hey. Sometimes you can see them before they come. Go on, big Darwin. Jones pulls it down and plays the right pass to Jota at the right weight and the right angle, which allows Jota to play it first time. And Nunez can't he doesn't even have to break stride. All he's got to do is guide it past the keeper, which he manages to do. Again, probably if you're talking about Solanke, Ivan Toney's probably the hottest ticket in town, especially now his band's up and he's got off death row there in them photos I seen the other day. My God, shit. Has he done a bit of bad, or has he just had an accumulator and got banned for it? I've seen young the young boy Brooks get cancer, you know, people going down with motor neurons disease, they haven't made anywhere near the fuss over it. There's Tones' coupon going down and obviously having a bit of time on the naughty step. Rangers, we were a kind of team that had been in the doldrums, kind of demoted, promoted, and maybe had a distorted view of its culture in terms of, you know, thought that Scottish champ was going to translate into Scottish Prem. And, you know, on the whole, that would have been proven correct, as it is in those leagues where there's little competition between teams. So, you know, really, a bad Rangers team will finish, what, third, fourth? Like, horrendous Rangers team will finish third or fourth. A bad one will finish second. And in Scotland, first is everything, second's you're a loser. So I only had 7 games, obviously, my last one being the Old Firm where we got dusted 5-1. But I thought that would be the chance to, like, you know, when you've fought the opposition and you say, okay, this is the best they've got. And then obviously the response to that was below what is it for me is the expected level in order to progress. So I didn't last much longer after that. And it's disappointing, but also you can't waste time when someone's views aren't aligned with yours. When you believe you should train a certain way and prepare a certain way, and you've got someone telling you no, that you shouldn't because they've worked in the city and read a load of books. I'm like, listen, mate, I don't care what books you've read. I've been in the Colosseum and I'm telling you what's coming our way here, and this is how we need to train for it. And they're going, no, we don't do that here. And I'm like, yeah, look, with the greatest respect, then I need to get out of here. And there's no easy way of doing that. And it's sad because I thought Rangers could have been good, but then I was a Roman Catholic whose understanding of kind of Scottish football was definitely grown by my experience up there. And I've got a lot of good mates there. And I look at, you know, even if it's only for a short period of time, I've experienced some highs and lows in Scottish football and got a better understanding of it. Will I look back on that part of my career favourably? Well, yeah, because I was lucky enough, even if it's only for 7 games, to play for Glasgow Rangers. You know, I'm only a kid off a council estate in Liverpool. I've played for some fantastic clubs. Good goal. Good ball, Gakpo. This Jota's just a machine, isn't he? It's the slaughter, Jota, the slaughter. Have you put him captain? That's a big shout, that. He's on fire, like, at the minute. Did you see all the thing and they're all trying to have the snooze conversation and you just don't realise how bad the epidemic is? They just don't know how bad it is. I reckon there's 50% of the flops in the Premier League. I reckon if you distilled it down, there'd be prescription meds, so sleepers or some form of prescription medication, and snooze, amongst other things. Like, they've started equating it to, like, high performance. And, like, they're obviously all caffeine heads, either on Starbucks or Red Bull or caffeine chewing gum, because caffeine has been shown to improve physical output. Is that in the Premier League or? I think all the leagues, obviously, like anything, it cascades down. If you see Wayne Rooney, Jamie Vardy doing it, then you're more likely to do it. And as I say, football's got a few epidemics, snooze and prescription meds and sleepers, and that have obviously a couple of them. What a finish. This Jota just unerringly finds the corners. Like, what, look, he hit the post. The shot he hits before is unorthodox in terms of he hits them and he knuckleball down, hits the post and in. No keeper can save that. He can't even get his hands on it. And again, you know, oh, good finish, lad. Who puts the ball in here? Gomez. Outside of his foot. It's not easy, that. I don't know how much he knows about it.
The defender's pulling him, which probably makes it easy.
I don't know whether this is very instinctual from him, which would fit for him. For strikers like Nunez, not having time to think about it is sometimes better for them. Allowing them to play off instinct, but this hell of a finish.
Do you think Liverpool can win the league?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, Liverpool, I think Liverpool should be thinking that every season. I think the fact that they had such a bad year last year, maybe people were saying it's going to be a rebuild season this year, and especially losing Henderson and Milner and Fabinho as late as they did in the window. I don't think even the most staunch Liverpool fan would have felt they'd be in this position after this game, but they are, and I think it's them or City for me for the title. I would still want to see Liverpool sign at least one top-class central midfielder this window. If they signed another midfielder at a top-level box-to-box or certainly defensive-thinking midfielder, I think they could win the league. If they don't, I think City are just going to pip them. Nedum's on there saying he's a better centre-forward than Gabby Agbonlahor. Now, I'm not saying Gabby Agbonlahor was fucking Alan Shearer, But Gabby Agbono was a fucking nuisance, mate. Gabby Agbono as a striker was a threat. Nedum Onuoha as a striker is not a threat. He's got fucking no nerve endings from his kneecaps to his toenails. He doesn't know how to fucking feel the ball onto his feet. Now listen, he can defend like fuck because he's quick, he's strong. If he gets his hands on you, you're in the spider web. And up until a certain level in the Premier League, that can nullify fucking wingers, that can nullify wide players. But to say just because you were quick and strong, you could have gone and played on the front line,